What is up, boys and girls? Welcome to another week episode of the SAC Sunday Anime Chat. For those of you that are new, my name is Unfunny Kid Machete Mantis Christian, part of the Critical Miss, and I'm here to run you through an anime chat. This week's anime of choice is Classroom of the Elite. It's an anime I've been following for a little bit. This season just came out. I'm not going to go into it yet. I'm just going to discuss it first. I'll let you come to your own opinions. But for what we do, for those of you that are new here, we go through a run-through of what makes anime good, bad, happy, sad, something about trash. And the story, we rated on story, characters, art, sound, originality, and the intangibles. So like just how it makes you feel and shit. But for this anime this week, Classroom of the Elite, sorry, I was thinking Assassination Classroom. Another great anime. You should watch it. But for this one, the story revolves around a classroom of a special school for like gifted students. Like these are the best of the best students. They're a cut above the rest, and if they pass this school, they can get any job they want. It's pretty much well known through Japan. But it's an unorthodox school with unorthodox teachings, but it's been proven to be successful. These students, they are separated into 4 different classes: A class, B class, C class, and D class. So A is the best, D is the worst, obviously. And D is known to have a classroom full of flaws, and even though they are smart and geniuses in their own way, they are deemed as like the dumb class. And it is whoever finishes out the year in A class will be passed as the best of the best, and obviously that's their goal through the series. What they don't tell you is how the school runs. The school has its own set of rules, and you need to learn those rules as you go along, using your own kind of critical thinking and like investigation and just memory, putting the pieces together. And there's a lot of gray areas, but one thing that is not gray, the one thing that is black and white, very clear cut, is that the school runs on a system called points. Points is your currency. A class, B class, C class, D class, they all get an income of points every month or so. These points go to their phone, and they could spend these points on whatever they want. And when I say whatever they want, literally, there's nothing, the motto in the school is, there's nothing points can't buy. So if you have a secret agenda, you have a secret motive to get pushed to the top, to move up, to further yourself or your class, if you spend your points correctly, you can make anything happen. And there's a lot of negotiation and tactics going through this entire anime from start to finish between a bunch of characters, within classes, between classes, even staff and faculty and the class, people that don't even work for the school. This anime throws you for a loop with that. It's like a really interesting concept. So story, I give like pretty solid story. Characters, every character, they have your run-of-the-mill characters, like your Disney characters, your very tough guy characters, like leader characters that like are better than the rest. But for the most part, each character has their own style and their own flow. I really respect everything that they put together for each character. They definitely put a lot of thought into. They have a good system of creating like the face value of their character, like everything that you see. But you also know that there's a little bit backstory behind each character. Like each character has their own like mystery to them. Like you don't know what makes them tick, what do they have going on, and that's what a lot of the show is about. It's all about having your face value, showing what's the difference between showing who you are and who you want to be, or who you really are in the background. Like what are your actual motives, and what are you actually like accomplishing? So you could be a lot of characters are nice on the outside, but they definitely have their own like darker backstory, or like their own darker motives. Like what's their true intention? Like, hey, you helped me out, but like was it just to further your own goals? Like what are you planning? Like what's going on later? And you get a feel for that for each character, no matter how kind, no matter how sympathetic. It's pretty much that way for every single character. And the main character, which is showing right now, He's got the most mystery about him. He's always helping his class. He's always helping. He's always trying to like further his own class and his friends, or what's it called? He never refers anyone as a friend, but he's very friendly to everyone, and you kind of can't tell like whose side he's on because he's so emotionless. Like you get the feel like, hey, he cares for these people, but like for some reason you're just like, well, does he? He doesn't really like show any like his true face. Like we don't know who he is. And this anime goes along if you're into like the sort of Death Note kind of animes. Any like Code Geass is another one. Like if you're into those like mind game and tactics animes, like this is definitely up your alley. And they do a really good job with mind games between characters, and it's like just really well done in that sense. Art and sound, pretty typical. Definitely higher quality. Sound, I wasn't really too thrilled about. Like they align like good music with the appropriate like instances, like when things happen. You definitely feel like everything kind of lines up, but you're never like, whoa, that was like a really epic scene. Like there were good scenes, but like nothing. It's more about the mind games. It's more about the storytelling. It's not really about the art or the soundtrack in this anime, which is fine. Not every anime is going to be like that, but there's definitely they definitely put in work to it, but they definitely wanted to focus more on the story. Like that's where it hits home. Originality. Things like this have been done before, like Assassination Classroom came to my mind, where you're in a class, it's like they have a special mission, or like things like that. But this definitely has its own spin on it. I'd say it's like pretty original. I can't think of anything else like in this sort of realm. Obviously, it's a mind game anime. Like there's different styles of anime, but that doesn't make it unoriginal. I'd say this is definitely has its own flavor and its own style, and its story hits home, and it's interesting. You like it's something that you want to see unfold, and something that you want to see like progress, and it's definitely original for what it's selling. Now for the Intangibles, my favorite one. This is an anime that throws you for loops. Every time you think you figured something out, something else happens, and you don't know where it's gonna turn next. You're smiling. You want to watch the next episode. You're invested. You want to know. There's so much mystery. There's layers of mystery. It's like Lost without all the bad shit at the end, like minus the ending, because we don't talk about that. It's garbage. But like the anime itself, there's like loops for loops. There's mysteries within mysteries. You find out one thing or another. She's explaining points right now. Everything has hitting meaning. The only true thing is the points. The only thing that is for certain is that you can buy anything with points. You don't know what they're going to buy. You don't know who they're going to sway. You don't know what their plan is to get more points, or to screw over their teammates or their friends, or help their friends. But it's a very fun anime to get invested in and try to figure out whose motives and whose side on what. And the main character is especially interesting. The main character is actually one of my, like, an anime is only as strong as its main character. Like, you can argue that all you want, but that was part of the reason why like so many animes are so great. Like you want to see Goku fight. You want to see like honestly like Naruto's hit or miss. You either hate Naruto or you love Naruto. But it's based on the main character. If you hate Naruto the show, you probably hate it because you find Naruto annoying. But if you love Naruto, you love what he stands for and love how you saw him progress, and you can relate to that. But for the most part, you're going off of the main character, and this main character is gold. His backstory, like part of his backstory I'll go into briefly, is he only gets 50s on exams. He gets perfectly average scores all the time throughout his whole life. He shows no emotion, but for some reason he always seems to solve every issue, or like can figure out a way of every like problem that comes his way, but he doesn't put in the motivation to do it. So he's in D class. Like, so they see his potential, but he doesn't progress it himself. And there's character development. That's not the end of the story, but you're just like you don't know what he's about. You don't know what he wants to do. You don't know who he stands for himself. Is he fighting for someone? Is that why he's here? He doesn't seem too interested. Like, you don't know. And going through this anime, you're trying to figure that out. So if I had to give this anime a grade, I'd give it honestly a solid B+. On the verge of A-. It's only 13 episodes. I can't say yet, but the first season was stellar. Definitely a B+, definitely enjoyable from start to finish. Watch it if you haven't. Worth looking into. I'm actually probably gonna read ahead in the manga because I want to see what happens. It was that intriguing. You're feel free to do whatever you'd like, but definitely check it out. Definitely worth a couple episodes to if you're into a mystery or like a sort of mind game sort of anime. Um, but yeah, that's it for me this week. You just got sacked. Peace out, bitch.